Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I'm going to be making like an ultimate guide to IndyCar. So this is going to be a 3-part series. In this particular video, I'm going to focus on the calendar changes, and just an overview of what tracks there are to offer. The season opener this year will again be hosted in St. Petersburg, Florida. This is actually a street course, but this street course is a little different from most street courses because a lot of street courses are known for being narrow and stuff. This one is semi-narrow, but the back straight for the front straight actually is a runway, so that does actually give some pretty good opportunity into turn 14 and turn 1. So there's 14 turns, it's a 1.8 mile or 2.8 kilometers, and the lap there's 100 laps, so the distance is 180 miles. And then IndyCar will be headed to Texas Motor Speedway. Texas Motor Speedway is a super speedway. It features banking, so the banking in turn 1 and 2 are 20 degrees, and in 3 and 4 it's 24 degrees. So there's a lot of banking. So that's always a pretty good race. It's a super speedway. Next, I'll be returning to Long Beach. Long Beach features 11 turns. It's 1.9 miles. The race length will be 167 miles. That equates to 85 laps. I don't expect it to be too great of a race. It's a very narrow street course. It's in California. It's not the most exciting race, but it's okay. It's an okay race. Next up, IndyCar will be heading to Barber Motor Speedway, or the Grand Prix of Alabama. So this is a permanent road course. It's a 2.3 mile track featuring 17 corners, 80 feet of elevation, but the track always kind of creates good racing. It's really twisty. There's a lot of overtaking opportunities. It's a very challenging track. There's a lot of high speed, low speeds, and heavy braking zones, so that's always an exciting race. Next up, they'll be going to the Brickyard for the first time. This time it will be the road course. So the road course is a 2.4 mile track with 14 turns, and the length of the race will be 207 miles, what equates to 75 laps. So this is always a really good track. It's, the Brickyard, probably the most well-known track. It always creates good racing. It's an amazing venue. The racing always creates good racing. Next up, we have the Indy 500, the holy grail of motorsports across the world. It's well known for being one of the most challenging 500-mile races, 200 laps, insane speeds up to 240 miles an hour, just insanity. So that's always an exciting race to see who can drink the milk. This is the one and only change to the calendar this year. They will be returning to the streets of Detroit for the first time since 1991. This new track will feature a 1.7 mile track and 10 turns. Previously, they raced at Belle Isle. It's a little island off of Detroit. But this track, they're making some interesting changes to the track. For example, they will be having a double pit lane. What's kind of an interesting one. I guess they don't have enough room to make a big pit lane, so they're just kind of stacking them side by side. Well, it's definitely going to create some interesting racing if there's a late course, and people have to pit for fuel and tires. That's definitely going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to that. Next up, they're returning to Road America once again for another year of great racing. This is probably one of the most exciting races on the calendar. This race will be a 55-lap race, or 220 miles. This track is a 4-mile course, so it's on the longer side. The lap times are in the 150s, or just under the 150s, so it's pretty long. There's 14 turns. It's an exciting track. There's insane speed, especially down the back through the carousel. It's an amazing track. You definitely need to watch out for this one, guys. Next up, they'll be returning to Mid-Ohio once again for another year. Mid-Ohio is again another exhilarating track. It features 13 turns around a 2.2 mile track. There's long straights, there's twisty sections, there's heavy braking, there's basically everything. There's a bit of elevation in there. It's definitely one of the most challenging races, but also good racing. So watch out for this one too. And then for the second year running, they will be returning back to Iowa Speedway. It will be a double header. There'll be 2 races. This is also one of them ovals. Like, I'm not a huge oval fan because I'm actually from Europe myself, but in terms of the racing, this is actually a really awesome and exhilarating track because it's so short. It's 0.875 miles. It's a 250 lap race, what equates to 223 miles. The lap times are under 18 seconds. It's a pretty exhilarating track. If you can catch this is definitely worth a watch. For the third year in a row, they'll be returning back to Nashville, the streets of Tennessee. This has always been a very questionable and controversial decision because the racing, especially on the first year was disastrous. The second year was less disastrous. It improved. Hopefully they can stay on that route and improve even further. So this track is a 2.17 mile course. There's going to be 80 laps, what will equate to 178 miles. It features 11 corners, so yeah, we'll see how this one goes. Definitely going to be an interesting race, to say the least. Next up, we'll be returning to the Brickyard, or Indianapolis Motor Speedway, for the third time. This time it will be the road course once again. They run 2 road courses at this track and 1 oval, the 500. So I don't really need to explain this track again, do I? Next up, they will be going to another road oval, the Worldwide Technology Raceway. This is a very interesting track. It's a 1.25 mile oval. It also has a weird shape. It's almost like an egg shape. It's definitely an interesting race, and this will be an exciting one. It'll be a 260 lap race. Next, we have Portland. Portland is another exciting race. This is another road course. It is the length of the track is 1.9 miles, and it features 12 turns. The total race distance is 216 miles and 110 laps. This is definitely one of the most exciting races, mainly because how short it is. The laps are sub 1 minute lap times. It's extremely fast. It's just basically flat out a lot of the time. It's a really interesting race. You definitely need to check this one out. And last but not least, I think they have saved the best track for last, Laguna Seca. This track features a 2.2 mile track, 11 turns. It has the legendary corkscrew. It's always extremely interesting. This is definitely one of the best tracks on the calendar. So yeah, that'll be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And part 2 will be out hopefully in the next coming days, in the next 2 or 3 days. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.